That's really bad lighting, isn't it? Mosquitoes. Jeez. Hi there. I want to tell you a little of my story today. We don't have time. You don't have time to listen to my whole story, but I'm going to give you some of the interesting stuff. Some of the stuff that I was afraid to talk about or wouldn't have wanted to talk about to anybody before, but just to let you know where I've come from and how I got started online and maybe some things you can relate to. It's bright out here. I'm going to go back to a couple years ago. I had started a publishing company here in Austin, Texas, and I'm going to walk around during this video, by the way, because that's what I do. I have a hard time talking and not walking, so hopefully it's not too jiggly for you. Anyway, I started a publishing company with a good buddy here in town, and it was a bad idea, and we should have known better. We didn't do enough market research. I had never started anything like that before. I really had no business doing that. But I was inspired by a friend who was doing well, and I took on the challenge with the buddy here in town, and it was beyond frustrating and difficult, near impossible. It was unbelievable. The amount of effort, the amount of time, the amount of money we put into that project. Here, I gotta show you this. I just realized when we had our first printing done, I get to see my messy garage. This was our inaugural issue. First issue, I don't know if you can see that. That was our company and the cover of our magazine, and I probably have a stack of the magazines here somewhere too. But man, was that a bear. And in the end, not profitable at all. Matter of fact, it was my ticket to working 12 to 15-hour days for 6 months. And when the dust settled, I lost $3,000 or $4,000 net. So pretty rough. There was just way too much competition and significant overhead and so many hurdles to clear. And anyway, that left me so broke that I couldn't pay my rent for a couple months. And that was long enough for the apartment manager. At that time, we were living downtown in Austin. It was really a great apartment. We walked most places. It was a really nice place to live, a high-end apartment. But I couldn't pay my rent anymore, and had too many accounts receivable, and the business just wasn't working. And my plan B was too weak. It just wasn't happening. So I got evicted. And I've got a wife and two young boys, and we had nowhere to go. We were pretty new to Austin at the time, so we didn't have a big network of friends or anything like that. So, long story short, I had all kinds of stuff I had to tie up with the business, even though it was officially failed. I couldn't just leave. My wife's parents live in the Seattle area, and my father-in-law was gracious enough to have them back temporarily. So they flew back to Seattle so that they wouldn't be couch surfing with me or whatever. And I had some nice people that helped me out during that time. It was a rough, really rough several months shutting that business down and getting back on my feet. And it was a struggle. Honestly, it was almost total struggle until September of last year. So I arrived September 25th of 2012, broke again, having failed in another business, given it my best, and it just wasn't enough. Bad market conditions and all kinds of stuff. And I had to do something. I had to do something different to get away from the air conditioning units. So I was looking around online, and that's when I found Empower. So you guys have heard a lot of my Empower story, but maybe you hadn't heard much about what led up to that. There was a point during that time where I was out doing sales calls for the company, for our magazine, and on the way home, which I didn't have a home, actually I was sleeping in a friend's office. he had really, really nice carpet, so it wasn't as bad as maybe as it sounds, but so I stopped at Costco for a hot dog. This is really embarrassing. And I went in to order so I could eat. I was hungry, hadn't eaten all day, and reached in my pocket, and I didn't have enough money. I literally didn't have enough money for a $1.50 Costco hot dog. That was not a good day. And anyway, that's kind of where I've been coming from. So the stuff you see, the kayaks here and the truck here, and my wife's car. This is all paid for, by the way. This is all cash. This has not been my life. This is not normal. This is not for me. We're grateful, beyond grateful. Life has been surreal, and my work, my effort, I hesitate to call it work. It doesn't feel like work. This right now is work. I've learned so much, and I'm grateful to the leadership at the Empower Network. If you're interested in making any kind of change, this is something that was part of the reason I went on this.